Yeah.
How have the guys responded in practice since
They've
Friday?
been great. Obviously, we got back probably about 4, so Saturday was off, and then practice yesterday.
How's Peyton doing?
He's doing okay. He didn't practice.
You think he'll play Tuesday?
I don't know. We'll see.
What would you do lineup-wise if he can't go? Would you Price go in there probably?
Price or Lodgy.
Okay.
Any thoughts to changing things up defensively? Anything at all, like on that front?
We're always changing things up defensively. We're mixing man and zone, we're mixing ball screen coverage, we're mixing pressure, we're mixing aggressive versus contain. So that's constant.
When you go to like, excuse me, zone in a game or, full court pressure, how much of that is pre-planned before the game versus just like feel of how things are going?
It's typically a game adjustment.
Okay.
Yeah. Something's not working or something we think might work. Occasionally we think, we're going to try something that we think will work against that team at some point. But, most of the time is, how the game is going.
Are you starting to see Seydoux get more comfortable back into more of a groove now?
Yeah, I hope so. It was unfortunate in USC game he got in foul trouble. I think it looked like he was doing some good stuff, and then I probably should have left him in when he got his third, just let him play through it. But, the way the game was going, I thought we would need him, so I took him out, and he did get back in. But I think he's getting more comfortable. We need him.
What are you seeing from Minnesota?
Obviously impressive win the other day. They had some really good games. Probably should have won the Ohio State game. Played really well that day. And even some of the losses, they played really well for a half. And Garcia's a handful. But they got some veteran guys that are playing really well. I thought they did a good job in the portal at adding some experience. So they're big and physical. The guards are playing well. Asima is really a good freshman, really taking his game to another level, but not surprising. We watched him a lot in high school, recruited him. So they got a lot of weapons.
What about Cooper? What's his status?
He's out again. Yeah, looks like that could be sustained for a while.
Their win against Michigan, what can that do for it? I mean, obviously they've been struggling.
Yeah, they just needed to get over the hump. They were right there.
Mm-hmm.
You could see it coming for them, because I think what you saw was a team continuing to play hard, to compete, to play together. And a lot of times, when a team is struggling, it's because they don't have what they need. That team has enough guys that can score. They have enough veteran guys. They have enough depth, and they got a good coach. So, they stayed together, and you give them credit. That's what this league is. You got to stay together. You got to keep fighting.
Peyton got banged up a couple times. Is it the shoulder that's the issue now, or?
Well, it's the shoulder and his leg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's both.
Going from a big win against Nebraska, a couple road losses, kind of the ebb and flow, the up and down. How do you maintain confidence in your team throughout that?
We always do. We don't get too emotional one way or the other. Can't. The season's too long. Teams are too good. We have a good team. We have good players. We have character. They'll be fine with that.
You had mentioned ball screen coverage. Are you seeing issues more? It was with the hedging, with the tag man? Where are you seeing?
Well, when you're breaking down, it's usually a combination of all of it. So there's a couple things you can do. You can change how you play it. We just have to be a little more aggressive with it, and that can be dangerous too. Because they hit the slip guy or they hit the throwback guy. So it's not just what happens at the point of attack, it's what everybody does.
When you say aggressive, you mean like almost how you played it against Washington State late, sort of?
Yeah, that we did the same thing. in California. We did it both games. It was effective sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes that doesn't work either. It also depends on, how's the team shooting the ball, because if they move it, somebody's going to be open anyway. You got to be able to close out. So it doesn't really matter what happened at the point of attack, it's how you close out.
You guys were on, basically it was like a 6-day road trip. Going through that for the first time with those two schools in the Big Ten, is that almost too long to be on the road, or does that matter?
It really doesn't matter. I really think it's irrelevant. You fly out, it's a slightly longer trip. You stay at a hotel, you go to practice, you put the game plan in, you go play the game, go play the other game, come home.
Wouldn't you rather play them back-to-back as opposed to making 2 trips out to LA during the course of a season?
Yeah, and sometimes you won't be able to because of class schedules.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have Rutgers, Maryland coming up. We could, it's different. I mean, Rutgers isn't in the same town as Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
but you could stay east, but classes are in session, so we're going to come back. We're on break, so we stayed out there.
Fran, I know you mentioned execution rather than effort after the game. I guess, how do you shore that up? Is it just reps, continue
Yeah.
looking at film?
Reps, film, and making sure the guys stay committed. And again, a lot of times it's 5 as 1. You got to be connected, especially when teams running ball screen continuity stuff or anything with any level of sophistication, which everybody does in our league. So you have to really pay attention. Where's the ball? Where's my man? Who am I guarding? So sometimes it doesn't even come down to scheme, it comes down to personnel. Who you closing out to? Closing out to Steph Curry, well, that's different than closing out to a guy who drives it all the time. He does both, but we have guys in our league that do both. And we have guys that are bigger and guys that are smaller. So we got pretty smart kids who are usually pretty good at that.
Are you disappointed with the way your guys rebound?
We would like them to rebound better. I mean, we obviously started small lineup, so it puts a lot of pressure on our perimeter players to rebound. We traditionally started a big lineup. We pretty much most of the time had a traditional 4-man. We did play Connor there some out of necessity because of injury, and he did a really good job there considering he was undersized. So, it's just something we have to continue to focus on.
All right, thanks, Coach. Oh, one more, last question.
I was curious about that. Is that just like really trying to motivate the guys and get them to do more? Or
Well,
just what's that?
it's that, but it's also, technique, finding somebody, putting a body on them, because you got to get inside. We got a lot of running rebounders in this league, and if you just turn and just let it become a free-for-all, then it's a problem. So you got to really be smart, and your guards have to rebound. And we've typically had guards that did rebound. We got to make sure that continue to do that.
All right, thanks. Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, Fran.